This is how you are literally going to collect all of your royalties. If you've had music out for a time and you haven't been collecting it, usually there's going to be a little check for you. We want you to care more about making money as if your music is valuable, because your music is valuable. One of the common questions that I get from music creators are, how do I collect all my royalties? And so I want to answer this as quickly and concisely as possible. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. You are going to make sure that you have your music put onto music platforms, right? We call them DSPs, digital service providers. This is going to be Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, all the places. One of the unfortunate things for us music creators is that we do have to go through music distributors to get our music onto music platforms, right? So just meaning you're dealing with a distributor, one music distributor. So you pick the music distributor, and we have covered all the major ones. There's DistroKid and Symphonic and CD Baby and a whole lot of them, and I've gone through the terms of service. So if you want to take a look at those, please do. So step one, just go through the music distributor, and then each of the music platforms is going to pay your distributor, and then the distributor pays you. You know they pay you because when you sign up, they're like, hey, what's your bank account information? And the nice thing is, for a lot of these companies, like DistroKid, for example, they will split amongst your collaborators. And so if you work with Johnny and you're giving Johnny 50% of the royalties, then you have DistroKid pay Johnny directly. So it alleviates administration for you. Okay. So number one, we're going to collect royalties from our music distributor who distributes our music to the music platforms. Number two is that we're going to sign up for a performance rights organization. Like in the United States, there's BMI and there's ASCAP. I have personally been with BMI for a long time. A common question will just be, well, which one's better? And we've done a comparison, video before. They substantially do the same thing. And I think as of right now, as of recording this video, BMI does have a fee as a songwriter to sign up. When I checked, it was something pretty nominal, like $50. $50 is $50, right? And I believe ASCAP does not have a sign up fee, but that's just if you're signing up as a writer. If you're signing up as a publisher, you have to pay a fee either way, and I think it's like a couple $100s. So you sign up for a PRO, but the PRO is going to be the organization that collects your performance royalties. Okay, so performance royalties being you have your music played in the mall, in a restaurant, like any public performance of your music, including if you perform your music at a dive bar. The dive bar actually has to have already paid for a license through these companies. And so then they're like, hey, Johnny performed in our venue. They pay performance royalties, right, for the performance. And then you get paid through this organization because you were signed up. All right, so we're still on number two, which is the performance rights organization. If you're in a different country, in the UK, I believe it's PRS. In Canada, it's SOCAN. So there's one for everyone. All right, just make sure you are registered with the one that is in your country. So number three, moving on, SoundExchange. SoundExchange is the platform where you're going to collect your royalties for non-interactive streaming. Okay, so this is going to be for Pandora, Sirius XM. It's a totally different platform. And the distinction is that whereas with like PROs, these are the public performance royalties related to your composition. It's the song that you wrote. It's not actually the recorded version. The recorded version is what SoundExchange is collecting on behalf of. We dive deeper into that in other videos, but really what you need to know is basically you just need to separately have your stuff registered on SoundExchange. Now, here's the good news. For some of these, platforms like a PRO, so BMI, when you register, typically you register and then you start collecting royalties moving forward. Whereas with SoundExchange, what I love is that you register and there's going to be money sitting there typically for you, right? So if you've had music out for a time and you haven't been collecting it, usually there's going to be a little check for you. And so that was the case for me when I did this a long, long time ago. I was like, okay, cool. So they're just collecting and they'll pay you out once you actually claim the music, right? A music attorney is your number one legal resource for artists, producers, and record labels. Get contract templates, one-on-one legal advice, free master classes, and everything you need for your music business. Go to topmusicattorney.com. That was number three. Number four is going to be the Mechanical Licensing Collective. If you're so excited and you're finding this helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up. The Mechanical Licensing Collective is like a government organization here in the United States that was put into place for purposes of collecting, again, your royalties. And so this is going to be, mechanical royalties for things like if someone covers your song, the DSPs, right, the music platforms, they are the ones that have to pay the Mechanical Licensing Collective. So actually, it's like all this stuff is happening automatically because of all these existing deals. And so really it's important that just in these funnels, you just are registered. They're going to do a lot of this work for you, which is great. So anyway, they'll collect your mechanical royalties, you register, they pay you, you're happy. Awesome. That's number 4. There's one more. You ready? Number 5 is SongTrust. If I said the most important ones, absolutely having your music on music platforms so people can find you. And there's the whole direct to fan thing. We'll talk about that in a second. Just making sure people can find your music somewhere. That's number 1. 2 is the PRO, such as BMI or ASCAP. 3, SoundExchange. 4, the Mechanical Licensing Collective. And then 5 is SongTrust. Now, SongTrust is not required, but the reason why I'm going to add it is because A, I'm registered with it. And the reason is because the performance rights organization that you sign up with in your country is going to collect your performance royalties in your country. Okay. So logically, we should be asking what happens with performance royalties that you make in other countries. And the answer is if you are not going through a company like SongTrust, you're not collecting them. Now, you could go to each country and set up an account, figure out what it is. I actually looked into this. I was like, oh, this is a nightmare. I don't think so. And SongTrust has a relationship with a lot of these countries. The last I checked, and I don't even want to misquote them, it was a lot. But in any case, so they've already done it. So you register your music and then they'll go and collect on behalf of you in these other countries. And in fact, they'll also help with collecting with the Mechanical Licensing Collective. They'll collect, in your native country. They'll double dip into a bunch of stuff if you want the help. But here's the little caveat, okay? Pro tip is if you are going to have SongTrust collect in the country that you are already registered in, right, the PRO, they're taking a fee, right? No one does anything for free. So just friendly reminder that they're going to take an extra amount rather than if you just registered with the PRO of where you live. All right, I know this is super exciting. I know you're taking notes because this is how you are literally going to collect all of your royalties. So it's really important. Now, let me move on though to this other piece, which is about just monetizing everything that you're going to do. Because if you're watching this, you obviously care about your money. You want to make money from your music. And so the piece that's just going to be the most important is direct to fans, right? So direct to consumer. And just remembering that, like, for example, I have a song coming out next week. And as I'm thinking through this, I go, well, it's a single. I'm probably going to have an EP at some point. I'm probably going to have an album. And so in my rollout plan, just understanding that if I am going to put it on music platforms, it goes up essentially for free, right? Unless I get the millions and millions of plays, let's hope that happens. I'm not going to make a ton of money from it. And that usually is not going to weigh out with how much I invested with my time and my money and whatever. So understanding that, one thing that, we really want to think through is how do we monetize this from if there's 10 people who really want to get this song early, can we do a pre-release? Can we have a physical, USB kind of thing? Can we just do something to connect with our fans? So that's the whole model of direct to fans on really trying to monetize. Because if you care about your royalties, right, you're already heavily there. But now we're going to go, we want you to care more about making money as if your music is valuable, because your music is valuable. Usually the only people who are not really treating their music as valuable are the artists. And it's because we're just very passionate and we want to just share what we created and all this good stuff. And what I've heard so many artists say, independent artists, who have done this so successfully, is that they go, I didn't even realize that if I just made like, I don't know, a PayPal link where one of my fans could just send me whatever they wanted. It was just like, you get access and you give me what you think this is worth. And, some artists have been like, I've had people send me like hundreds of dollars for my album. I wanted to say that because I want to get you guys thinking about monetizing your music in a better way, but also to connect with your fans in a better way. So this is all, what I'm about. If you want a deeper dive on the music business training, that's what we do here on the channel. Of course, I have the music business course, how to become your own record label, because it's totally a mindset thing. Check that out. Link below. I'll see you on the next one. I'm Top Music Attorney.